once again.
Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's, looking at a Skoda Octavia. So this is the 1.6 TDI. Okay, so the customers just bought the car and a short while afterwards the DPF light came on. He tried to take it down the motorway, obviously, but it's not gone away, the light's still on. So these are the lights that he has here, flashing glow plug symbol and engine management light on. It's a 2016 car with, what's that mileage, 135,000. So we have around about 11 millibars of pressure, 60 grams of calculated soot in the DPF. Okay, now for this car, he's, well, just relaying what the customer said to me, he's brought it to 4 different places and they've all tried to do forced regions. He said none of them could connect to the car at all, so I'm not sure what he means by that at the minute. He's Italian, so we have a little bit of a language barrier between us slightly, but he's saying what I'm doing right now they weren't able to connect, so I'm not sure about that. But maybe they were able to connect and see the live data, but they just couldn't set off the forced region. What I think has happened is when the grams of soot are so high like this, you try and set off a forced region and it'll say you can't do it because the soot level is too high in the DPF and you're going to cause a fire. So the car is basically stopping you from damaging it. Basically it doesn't want you to do a regen because it knows that the soot level is too high, and if you do a regen you're going to risk damaging something. But we'll see if we can get a connection, and I'll just attempt to do a regen just for the video purpose, just to see what happens, but I'm not going to go ahead with the full regen. We're just going to cancel it if it does go ahead. So I'm using my launch Eurotab 3 scan tool here and just coming into some of the data here. Service regeneration, let's see what happens like this. Doesn't seem to be doing much, but let's come back out of the fault code. So this is the fault code we have, P246300 Soot Accumulation. Now if we come up here, we have special functions, guided functions, DPF regeneration. Let's see what we have here. Skoda, it's a 2016. Let's press OK. Sorry about that, we've gotten a lot of sun reflection here. Sorry, just try to move the position of the car, see if we can get less clear on the screen. So we want to go into engine electronics. Oh, we have different engines here. So 1.6, it's Euro 6 I believe. Service regeneration of the particle filter. So he's telling me that all of these guys were unable to do it. I know these are a little bit of a fiddle to actually get connected to. Now, I've had a look at this car before I started the video as well. What I will mention is it's only got a P2463 code, so it's not got no underlying fault codes there. Not that the customer knows of. Obviously, something that may have been done before he bought it. But I've had a look over the car. I can't see anything else wrong. And the customer does live in central London. He's told me himself it does a couple of miles a day in central London. Yes, I know why have a diesel car in London driving those types of miles, but he has. Okay, so there's your warning for it's going to take 40 minutes. It can reach high temperatures of degrees and there's a risk of fire. Press OK. Let's see if it actually allows it to do it. Okay, so here's the message that you get. Just try and get that without the glare on the screen. So the soot loading is above the limit. You must replace the DPF. Yeah. And then carry out adaptive values on the DPF after. So we're going to press continue. So yeah, it's not allowing you to do the DPF regen like he said. Okay, now so how do you fix this problem? It won't allow you to do a regen and the soot loading is too high. The correct procedure, of course, is to replace the DPF, but it's expensive and I don't think it's going to need one. So what I can do is, right, if you reset your DPF values, that will reset those soot calculations down low enough to allow you to delete the fault code. Once you drive up the road again, it's going to realise the DPF is actually blocked and the light will come back. But you have another option of reset the DPF adaptions back to 0, then set off a force regen. Doing that again, you risk either fire or damage, or it just won't allow you, because then you'll get some cars will give you a similar message saying the soot loading has been reset to 0. You can't do a force regen, it doesn't need it. So the safest way to do this is manually get the pressure of the DPF down. So if we get that down to sort of 4 or 5 millibars from 11.5, and then once the pressure is down, reset the DPF values. So this is the engine. Because this is Euro 6, you have a low pressure EGR sensor here, and you have the DPF pressure sensor this side, and then one side of that is normal to be disconnected. That's just reading off the ambient pressure of the air. So we're going to get some cleaning fluid down this pipe here, I believe, but we'll show you how you can check how it's the right sensor. It looks like somebody's had this off already. There's this marking on the bolt there. So we'll get off that bolt there. It's a T30. Now we can get a pliers here. We'll undo the clip and just move that down. Okay, now we've just pulled this sensor out of the pipe. So now we've got our meter here connected up to the sensor hose. This is a manometer, so you can see there 11.5 millibars, same as we're reading on the live data. So we know the sensor is reading right, and it's reading exactly the same on our gauge as it was on the diagnostic machine there. So now I've got my cleaning fluid here set up. So it's this little cup, and we fill it with the DPF cleaning fluid from Launch UK. That is the fluid right there. I'll put the website link on the video description where you can buy that. Okay, so I've got the engine off on this. Now, I've said before in some of my videos, these DPFs do sit quite high. Now they're higher than the cylinders of the engine, so you can't put too much in with the engine off. So we'll just put a little bit in. And we'll let that soak for a minute, and then we'll start the engine up and we'll put the rest in with the engine running. Okay, now the engine's running. I'm going to hold the trigger again on this gun, and we'll keep it held until all of the fluid has gone in. And I've got this connected to a compressor that's set at 131 psi. Just going to hold my finger on here until the full litre of fluid is gone. Okay, all of the fluid is now out. We'll just let that run for a minute until any of the residue clears away, and then we can get the pressure sensor connected back up. Just push that back on there. Connect back up the clip. So connected back up the bolt now, and just close this heat shield back over. Okay, now come back inside the car. So the revs are maxed at 2500. So we'll hold the revs there for a few minutes until we can get the pressure down, get all of that fluid pushed out. So you can see here in the graph, we can see the pressure coming down. You can see at 2500 RPM we have now down around 23-24 millibars of pressure. So I'm going to come back into the special functions, and is the option, no sorry, we don't want DPF regeneration. Is it in here for, we're going to reset the DPF values basically. DPF matching, I think it's in here. Differential pressure sensor, we'll adapt that as well. Let's do that one first. No, it's not working. Particle filter replaced. Let's come back out of there. Not DPF regeneration. Let's try and do it through guided functions. Engine electronics. Okay, looking on the data there, we now have 2.8 millibars, 2.5 millibars of pressure at idle. Because we are having some difficulty trying to get to do the adaptions, so we're going to try do online adaptions. Okay, I'm just going to try it on a different diagnostic machine. Oh. Adaption of ash mass. Start. Okay, it says that's successful. Let's cancel that back. Now let's check if we can clear the fault code. Oh, I should have just went straight to the engine, but it's done now. Let's do an erase. Let's start up the vehicle now, see if that's worked. Yep, the flashing light's gone. So, looking on the live data there, we have 0 grams now, so that's been reset. And you can see there on the live test we done earlier, 1.5 millibars at idle and 25 at 2500 RPM. So we have it on a little test drive.
Wow, shit.
All of the power is there. Okay, so you see a little bit of smoke there, that'll die away in a minute. See there, it's left a little bit of a wet patch. So that's it, that's that Skoda all sorted, and we will see you on the next video.